Yeah, it sure is. The CBDC is getting closer and closer, and that's why we decided, once we saw the writing on the wall, to start using a private platform. And then we were approached to become a representative, so now we help others to do the same. The CBDC will control all of your movement, the carbon emissions tax allowance. It will also restrict how much petrol you put in your car, how much food you buy, what rent you pay, what water rates you pay, your rates on your property as well. It'll all be dependent on how many CBDCs you will be allowed, depending on how much carbon tax you use, which is very restrictive for a lot of people. If you've got a family of 4 or 5, it could be quite a large amount, but they won't give it to you because they're trying to reduce all the carbon emissions. And that's why petrol's been through the roof, because they want you to use your cars less and less. Like, we drove to Byron Bay because we live in Brisbane, and the amount of cars going to Byron Bay, like compared to maybe 3 or 4 years ago, it's no comparison. So it's half the amount of people traveling. And then they're changing the speed from Brisbane to the Sunshine Coast. So if you notice, the speed limits are getting less and less, which means you'll be going slower, and people just don't have the patience, so you won't go to the Sunshine Coast. So you can see what they're doing. They're restricting travel. They're saying in 2025 there might be maybe 3 or 4 flights a year, and with your carbon emissions tax, you may be allowed to have 1 flight every 3 years. So what's your thoughts on this, guys? Like, I have a very strong view on it, but what's your view? Do you agree with me, or do you think that what I'm saying is completely loco and not going to happen? But big majority of people know it's happening, so you can't ignore it. Something is definitely happening. To what degree? Unsure, but would love to know what your thoughts are on this, and we can chat further.